Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the week of July 26th. Now Virgo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate. Also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for more information on what may be going on for you here in this week ahead. Virgo, also understand the only place you can get any of my products and services is my website, zaneintuitive.com. I'll never contact you asking you for money or anything like that, so just stay alert. I've also recently launched a Patreon, so if you want to support the journey on a deeper level and get some exclusive perks, you can consider becoming a supporter. There are links to both of those in the description below. And finally, I do daily content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. And if this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button so other people can see the video. Subscribe for future updates and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I also go through and do another 9 tarot cards and clarify with some oracle messages, so stick around to the end. And there you are showing up in the middle, Virgo. So you coming in here in a prominent position. So we'll see how that plays into the rest of this reading. And now let me make sure this is in view. Okay. Looks good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Eight of Cups. So this is a card that I view as a good thing. Eight of Cups is walking away from a disappointing situation. You're not sitting in disappointment. Instead, what you're doing is you're allowing your empty, broken cups, the emotions of the past, the attachments to things that could have been or what was, you're allowing those to be behind you. And instead, what you're doing is you're moving towards the horizon and you're planning out your journey to the Nine of Cups. You're moving forward to a wish. And so for you, I love to see this. I feel like, man, some of you are, it's almost like you're going on some sort of journey through your inner consciousness or something really deep right now, because you have this Hermit card, which is you in the middle. The middle card's the most important card in the spread because it bleeds into the rest. And the thing is, the Hermit will journey into their inner knowing, into their inner being, and investigate their consciousness. And, so for you, it's like, there's some sort of journey that you are about to embark on here, and you are going to learn something along the path. I don't know if this is going to happen for you in July or in August or maybe sometime this year, but for some of you, you're taking on a big change in your life. And throughout this journey, you're going to come to a level of mastery about how you got here, what led you to this decision, or just you're going to come to some sort of self-mastery here going on. I feel like there's maybe been a painful end to a cycle here in the past. I'm sort of feeling like mixed messages here coming in, like there was a painful cycle, but also with it a victory. And I'll tell you why. So you have this Six of Wands in the past. This is the victory that I'm talking about. You actually have two, but Six of Wands is the second victory in the suit of Wands. It says you've gone through this Five of Wands here, but with that in the future position, that you might go back to the drawing board on something, but you've thought about how you've achieved a victory or you've achieved some level of success here. And not only that, but let me jump down to the World card. The World is the completion of a cycle. It's the end of something. It's sort of very spiritual in nature because you've gone through the entire hero's journey. And it's almost like communing with the universe, if you will, on what's next. Because as you complete the World, as you complete the cycle, you start a new one with the Fool. Zero, you go back to zero. And so it's almost like you are contemplating with the universe how this cycle ended. For some of you, this was a painful end to a cycle because you have this Ten of Swords here. And so the good news is this Ten of Swords is in the past, meaning the worst is behind you. But now you're sort of left picking up the pieces of, and I feel like a lot of this is in your mind, where it's like, what went wrong? What can I do to improve myself for the start of this next cycle? And the thing is that, yes, it may have been painful, but there was also a win in there. So for you, it's like looking in between, finding the message in between the message for you here, Virgo. Now you have this Strength card. This is having the courage to walk next to a lion, to tame a lion. It's a very powerful card. It's literally the energy. It's literally energy. The Strength card means energy, your primordial force, your being in this world. And so for you, this self-mastery is going to take strength. It's going to take some sort of courage for you to understand the lessons that the universe is trying to give you here. And wow, this is a very, very deep, very deeply spiritual, esoteric message for you. There could have been something here around actually, before I do that, there's the thing about the Strength card. It is associated with the, I found that it's associated with the sacral chakra. You can see the orange here on the lion's mane. And so this is potentially something around your sexual or creative energies here. But the thing is, for some of you, you have this Three of Pentacles as well in this upper row. This is teamwork. Maybe something happened within a team environment that didn't go well. The thing about the Three of Pentacles, this is also someone who's a builder of quality work. You can see the anvil in the background. They're holding up their latest creation. It is also reward and recognition. And so, it's weird because this reading is like saying on one hand, there's been some sort of win or victory here. But on the other hand, you're being called on literally by the universe here to have strength through potentially the end of a cycle, like a painful ending to a cycle. And so there's a couple things in here. Now you have this Five of Wands, mental conflict. This Five of Wands is the suit of conflict. Some of you are going back to the drawing board and figuring out how you can accumulate more wins. Tiny wins stack up, and so, or small wins, as people I think more commonly like to call it, but small wins do stack up. And so, try to figure out what you can do to build on some more of those, I feel like is what's happening here. But you may be going back to the drawing board with that in the future and the Six of Wands in the past. Some of you have been reeling from a heartbreaking situation. This could have been relating to work, leaving a job, or something that happened in a team situation. Others of you, it was a literal breakup or cheater, divorce, something like that, separation. And you need to make sure that the way that you're talking to yourself is not focused on loss here with the Five Swords in the lower row. This is how you talk to yourself. You need to have courage here and talk to yourself in a positive way, and also just be fearless at this time. With 8 into 9, I just realized that progression, you're being called on to be fearless within the universe. Wow. So let's start to get some additional messages here. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, helps get the word out and spread the message to others. There's also a bell below this video. If you click that bell, you will never miss an update from me. And lastly, Virgo, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Hope things are going well. Hope things are good for you. So, what's going on here with this? What are you mastering here, Virgo? What are you mastering? This is a message unique to you. Okay, so we have Gaia wanting to pop out here. Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Listen, you may need to do an earthing practice or do something to ground your energy at this time. Earthing is just this simple idea of taking your bare feet, taking your shoes off, putting your bare feet on the ground, on the grass, whatever it is. You could also just go out in nature, take a hike, which will get you closer to source. Let's see here. What other messages do you have? Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Maybe you've done that, and maybe there's some words that have been left unsaid here as this painful cycle has come to an end. And then you have Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. There's a major inner calling here with the Hermit and the Eight of Cups. There's no question about that. I feel like for you, it's maybe taking time in solitude, going at it alone. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. A lot of people are very uncomfortable being alone. But, this time that you spend alone figuring out what went wrong or what you can do next is going to be a catalyst for you to teach. The other thing about the Joan of Arc card is, if someone has framed you out to be someone that you're not, or someone has not been acting with integrity towards you, it says it's going to all work out in divine law, in order. So as long as you have maintained your integrity, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. See, some of you, I feel like there was like a quick romance or something like this that happened here that's potentially ending or is causing you some sort of conflict. Some of you are holding on to a relationship with the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. Page of Cups was some sort of romantic or even creative offer that happened. It could also have been happy news, but the problem is that it's around the Ten of Swords, which is a big ending. And so someone did something here to upset one of the other, whether it was they upset you or you upset them, but something like that happened here. Knight of Cups in the world. There's a new venture though. There's something new coming for you here with that Knight of Cups as this cycle's ending. And the thing is, maybe this something like looking on the sort of silver lining here is that you've, planted seeds in the past and you have something that sustains yourself. Nine of Pentacles is all about financial independence. You can see there sort of like berries here in the past talking about self-reliance. And so you've done something to really like take care of yourself in some way. You have the Moon, something not being as it appears, deception within teamworks potentially, Four of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. You're being called on to have courage through times of change. The Two of Pentacles signifies change in your life, specifically around the material. I get the sense intuitively that that the majority of you are going to be fine, but it's fearing the worst here. That's maybe where the Strength card's coming in, telling you to realize that there are always new opportunities, especially with this Knight of Cups next to the World, or with the World next to it. So, for you, dropping the anticipation of loss is going to be super important for you as you get this Two of Pentacles, because you have this Five of Swords in the future. The Hermit and the Four of Cups, meditate on some sort of alternative way of viewing the world, because this, as I like to say, this cup here, this is an alternative path. You maybe need to drop these three cups that are familiar and look towards a new way of doing something and being. And yeah, there could be some sort of temporary deception within a team environment or something like that. Okay, there's a big Tower moment coming in here for you, Virgo. Yeah, Death and the Knight of Swords. I want to get clarification here. Yeah, look, there was a breakup here that happened. There was a very quick or some sort of relationship that developed in the past that's now ended or will end in the future. You have this Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. It's a financial event, once again, popping in. So, like I said, it's almost like something in the relationship aspect of your life here ending. One of you cheated with the devil. One of you did something. It's almost like Yeah, one of you did something here to really upset the other with Death, Three of Swords, the Tower, and the Devil. And what do we have here again? Five of Wands. Yeah, there's just like you've been conflicted on how to handle this. The thing is, something in your financial situation's happening. Knight of Swords, don't jump to conclusions about your finances, because it looks like you will get something back here. The Six of Pentacles is all about reciprocity. It's this idea that if you give something out, you'll get something back. Now, that does not mean, give everything in your bank account to someone. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you may need to, be there for a friend, or, go a little bit, do a little bit extra for a colleague. Or you can see the scale on the tarot card there on the Six of Pentacles, indicating that the scales are going to be balancing out here, especially with Joan of Arc. So, it's the emotional end of this reading for you that is challenging, not necessarily the financial part. There could be a change coming in, but you're supposed to have courage and strength that, don't jump to conclusions and think, wow, I'm not going to have any more money. I don't feel like that's coming in here for you. If this message is for you, community, something going on with teamwork or groups, sudden wealth, thoughts, this person, this situation that happened here, this person's heavy on your mind. You can see this person's thinking about them. Pathway. Yeah, I mean, look, going back, hold on, journey and great fortune. Yeah. So going back to this sort of original message here, where it's like, we started off with, Virgo traveling their own consciousness, like going back to self-mastery, pathway and journey. I mean, seriously, you are on a journey here. Pathway is your true north, your destiny. The reality is that this relationship probably had to end as a part of your journey here in this lifetime, in this incarnation. Probably had to end, and nobody wants to hear that. I'm sure some people are going to get triggered by that, but sometimes that's just part of it. But the thing is, through all of this, you have this sudden wealth, great fortune situation developing, where this self, if you decide to take this journey of the Eight of Cups, maybe go solo with the Hermit showing up in the middle, and go on a sort of self-exploration. It looks like there's treasure here with the with the fortune, great fortune, and sudden wealth. So, wow, this is a deep message, one of the deepest I've done in a long time. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, check out my website, zanintuitive.com. Consider becoming a Patreon. See you in the next one.